Well then, welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Tuesday, June 22nd. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories read here today can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. Here are the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. The Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe in Minnesota recently received $350,000 from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act High Performance Fund to expand its weatherization services. The band is the only tribe in the United States chosen to receive this funding. The U.S. Department of Energy Weatherization Assistance Program allocated $9.7 million of its ARRA funding to Minnesota. The funds were distributed to service providers that exceeded their weatherization goals and have the capacity to complete additional units quickly. Grant awarders were determined based on high performance in the number of units completed, money expended as of April 30th of this year, percentage of weatherization completed, and extent of cost-effective measures implemented. Last year, the band weatherized 40 homes. With the new money, the band should be able to weatherize at least 50 more houses. In honor of National Aboriginal Day, the National Film Board of Canada is pleased to announce the online premiere of Dennis Allen's charming documentary, CBQM. You can find that online at the National Film Board of Canada, and we'll put that URL up so you'll be able to find it. In this film, which was named Best Documentary at last year's Imagine Native Film and Media Arts Festival, Allen pays tribute to the Moccasin Telegraph, Fort McPherson NT's citizens-run radio station, CBQM, and paints an engaging portrait of northern Aboriginal town. For its people, CBQM is more than a simple radio station. It's their radio station. A dependable pal, a beacon in the storm of life, a resilient expression of identity and pride. Whether it's reporting wolf sightings or broadcasting bingo games, airing debates on uranium mining, or dedicating a hurtin' country ballad to some broken heart local, the station has served the people of Fort McPherson for almost 3 decades. Leaders of the Northern Arapaho and Eastern Shoshone tribes in Wyoming have warned that an amendment proposed by their home state U.S. Senator could derail a $3.4 billion federal settlement with American Indians nationwide. Senator John Barrasso's amendment, capping attorney fees at $50 million and making several other changes in the settlement, would further delay justice for far too many Indian beneficiaries in the long-running Cobell Trust lawsuit the leaders wrote to key senators recently. The U.S. House has already approved the settlement, including up to $100 million for legal fees in the class action lawsuit that alleges decades of government mismanagement of the funds the federal government held in trust for specific and individual Indian land owners. The agreement calls for the Interior Department to distribute money to hundreds of thousands of tribal members. Ivan Posey, chairman of the Eastern Shoshone Business Council, and Harvey Spoon Hunter, chairman of the Northern Arapaho Business Council, urge senators to vote against the Wyoming Republicans' measure. The Southwestern Association for Indian Arts and Collected Works bookstore present the third reading in its collaborative reading series featuring award-winning Native writer Jamie Figueroa and Santee Frazier. As the official literary and book booth sponsor of the 2010 Indian Market, Collected Works Bookstore is hosting a series of readings and book signings throughout the year, including a special program during the 2010 Indian Market Week. The association is continually expanding its educational programs to encompass a broader landscape of Native expression. The Literary Arts Series is part of SWAIA 365, a series of events in Native literature. Visual Arts and Films, presented in collaboration with the Center for Contemporary Arts, Collected Works Bookstore, and Legends Santa Fe. And that's coming up on Wednesday, June 23rd from 6 until 8 p.m. And it's at the Collected Works Bookstore at 202 Galisteo Street in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Go there, RB Square, I guess. Join Douge George, a Mohawk historian and reenactor, as he presents on the history of the Mohawks of Aswkwesasne, how our ancestors saved Upper Canada in the War of 1812. And that presentation will be at the Nor'Westers and Loyalists Museum on Sunday, July 4th at 2 p.m. That's at 19651 John Street in Williamstown. And you can find more information online at museum@bellnet.ca. And there's an admission charge of $10 for that presentation. And finally, the Standing Rock Sioux's Tribal Council last week approved a resolution supporting the University of North Dakota's retirement of its Fighting Sioux athletic nickname, an issue that has caused reservation friction for a number of years now. This is our final decision on the matter, said Council Member Jesse Taken Alive, an opponent of the nickname. There are other issues that are a priority that need our attention. Council members voted 10-4 to support the nickname's retirement, Taken Alive said in a recent interview. Competing groups have given the council petitions that oppose the nickname and appealed for a reservation vote on whether UND should be allowed to continue using it. At a special meeting last week, the Tribal Council voted to affirm the nickname's retirement without taking up either petition. Archie Foolbear, a nickname supporter and former Tribal Council man, said the dispute was not over. And that is going to be the last information today of some of the things that are going on around Indian country. And we want to thank you all for joining with us. Come back again soon. Miigwech.